I'm James Ledger and I am a composer. I started off in high school learning an instrument. I played the French horn, and from there I knew music was the thing that I wanted to end up doing, but French horn and I we had different thoughts. I just didn't want to be an orchestral player, I don't think, and so we went our own different ways, but I continued on as a composer. I enjoy the challenge. There's an incredible sense of it's almost like a puzzle that you have to solve yourself. It's like a crossword that you've somehow set the questions and answers, but you don't quite know the answers, and you've got to go on this path to figure out what the solution is. It's kind of a solitary life. You know, you sit there and in your room, and it's very, as I say, solitary. Which I don't mind either, actually. I wrote my first quartet for those guys in 2011, I think it was, so about 7 years ago. I remember thinking at the time, gee, I could write specifically for quartets as a full-time job, because the quartet is a wonderful medium. It's got everything there. The realms of expression and timbre and dynamics is just so vast, and you know, this is why it's such a enduring ensemble. I mean, when Haydn first thought of the idea of putting cello, viola and 2 violins together, who would have known it would have lasted as long as it has. It's one of the most profound ensembles in existence, I think. You know, if you think of the composers who have written for quartet, and invariably, a lot of their great late masterwork, I'm thinking of Beethoven, of course, you know, his magnum opuses are those late quartets. But the Bartók quartets, the Ligeti quartets, the Shostakovich quartets, they're all, you know, these kind of personal statements of profound impact. And I enjoy that element of the quartet. It's just this sort of little diary-like snapshot of being a composer. Yeah, so this quartet's a bit different in that it uses electronics. All the players are mic'd up. They've got individual mics on their very expensive instruments, and that's fed into a computer that processes that sound, and so that sound is then put into the loudspeakers at the back of the room. And the person who operates the electronics is almost like, you know, the quartet becomes a quintet in essence. The electronics add this wonderful new element, I think. We're able to do things that you can't do in the acoustic realm. It's called the Distortion Mirror. These are mirrors, or distorting mirrors, are the mirrors that when you look into it, you're either upside down, or you're a lot fatter or a lot thinner, or you've got boggly eyes or whatever. You know, they're sort of sideshow alley kind of things. So I thought about that in the sound world, how I can have a sound and it gets shown back to you in some new way or shape, and that's what the electronics do. Like, for example, it plays it backwards, or it plays it up an octave or down an octave, or both at the same time. It is very gratifying on days like today when you get your piece out into the world for the first time. To see musicians come together and play something you've written is incredibly fulfilling.